Welcome back to Drumard Farm. We are picking up where we left off. I'm getting this bale I dropped behind the trailer. I've just moved the trailer out the area for now. Let's give this last bale to the goats, and hopefully that'll see them through for a bit. Let's call the fence a bit there. Good, that's gone in. I'm just going to check on them. Good, that's done very well. Happy with that. Okay, so what we're going to do is the worker's out hoeing the last field, which is possibly the pea field or potato field. I think it's the pea field. Yeah, it was the peas. Should we take this trailer? I suppose we could just leave it here. I don't really know where we're going to use it next. It'll be for selling something, I would think, possibly the goat milk. So we'll leave that there. Yeah, we want to drop this front loader off and then go and sow our last soybean field. But there is a contract out there. I'm going to have the worker do it. It's a hoeing contract and they've got the hoe on, so it is the field opposite where they're working. So I'm going to go in and accept that now before we lose it. Yeah, here I just spotted that as I loaded in. So accept the contract. Yeah, it looks like the work is still going. By the time we get over there, I wouldn't imagine much has happened to this silage, but we'll just check. No, we're not quite there yet. Possibly, I was going to move this on to May, sorry. But if that's ready, then we'll go and get a conveyor set up and start getting that out there in April 2nd. Everything's fed and happy for now. Possibly not the dog, but we can do that when we get back. I'm sure he won't suckle about it too much. Yeah, last of the sowing now for a while. So I want to get this one right. There should be plenty of seed in the drill. Right, what we'll do is I'm just going to drive up there and then I can run them around the corner. It looks like that contract should be here on the left. It is, it's this one on the left here, I think. Okay, so they'll be there a little while doing that, I would think, which gives us plenty of time to drill. I've gone past it again. Just waiting there, I thought he was going to go for it. Yeah, keep your wig on. What have they got left to do here? That's very random. We might just get this then. Hope this isn't tram lines. I thought they were a little bit further along on this than they were, to be honest. Front way on the floor. Well, tram lines or no tram lines, I still don't want the weeds. If we can help it. I think that's getting them. Is it getting them? Yes. Yeah, workers throwing me a bit of a curveball here. It's strange because they're normally very good with the hoe. I normally find they're better with the hoe than they are with spraying herbicide. But judging by that potato field, that was a little bit shocking. Wasn't very impressed with what they'd done. If they're just left to run rather than just patchy pieces. I'm sure there's a reason for it though. They normally do a good job. I will just check in the menu to see what's going on with these weeds before we leave. Yeah, this does look suspiciously like tram lines, doesn't it? In which case we might as well just leave them in here, but yeah, we might need to plough this field out at some point. I know it goes against the precision farming rules, but we've got to do what we need to do, haven't we? I really wish I could take that fence out there and I can just pop straight through. There's the planter down there. So yeah, there's loads. I'm thinking with these veggie crops, especially the potatoes, as much as I don't usually like using herbicide, I'm going to go down the herbicide route, I think. I just think it might be easier. I know it's more expensive, but then sometimes is it because you're covering a bigger area? Well, no, it is, but you're covering a bigger area. So you don't need to be working or have a worker work as long to get the job done. Wage will be cheaper. Possibly sell both our hoes and get a sprayer. Well, a sprayer could always do liquid fertilizer as well. You might have to get some narrow tyres or narrow wheels. Okay, well, I'm going to leave this now, see what happens once this grows in May, and if we have to get a sprayer, then we will. So let's pop this in the other field. I'll have a look, see if any sprayers are coming up in the sales. This is us here. It's quite handy, that. Please do a good job, worker. Okay, and I'll just well, we could run over there. Stop being lazy. Oh, that's strange. So yeah, I don't know. Right, well, just to see what happens when once that grows in. I'm not really sure what's happened to that field or that crop. But meanwhile, I want to get that planter off higher. I'm not sure what time we get charged. I think it might be 12 o'clock, so that gives us 2 hours. Or just short of 2 hours. There is another hoeing contract out there, so we'll see how long that takes them. Might be worth putting moving on to another field to do some more hoeing if we can find a contract for ourselves, or we could go hoeing, but I don't really fancy it today. Not if there's options. Options. There we go. Just check it's still set to soybeans. Shouldn't have changed, but you never know. Yeah, we're all good, and we've got plenty of seed, so shouldn't be any problems here. There we are. Off we go. Beautiful day for it. So how many fields of canola did we do? 1. Okay, so we've got a chicken feed here then, a sale crop, 3 sale crops, and 2 production crops. That's how I'm going to sort of label it. Peas down to the preserved food factory. And then potatoes will go. Well, I was wanting to make them into chips, didn't I? But we will put them in our soup factory just as soon as we get the money for it. And of course, I had to use some potatoes on a contract. I used quite a few. I won't be doing the potato contracts anymore. Not using our own potatoes. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't want to spend a whole episode doing these soybeans or sowing these soybeans, so I will put this in a time lapse and then we'll go from there and see what's happening. Let's do it. Well, what a brilliant little planter this is. I'm really happy with this. I'll definitely buy one in the future. Now, not the planter's fault, but let's just check my work. Okay, so just a little bit down that back corner by the looks of it. Hopefully that's telling us all the information there. Good. 2 fields of soybeans. How's the worker getting on? Well, they're still moving, so that's a good sign. Alright, let's fold this up. I'm going to take this back to the yard, or one of them. So before we return it, I want to get the seed out there. Still quite a bit of seed in there. Yeah, and we'll see what we're doing. Yeah, I'm going to go and put this over with the other stock we have at the arable farm. And that way I can check on the little pigs. Or not so little pigs now. Now, where did I put all the other bits and pieces? Unless I've used it all. In here looks like a good bet. Hopefully I don't have to unfold this to empty. No, I don't. That's brilliant. Okay, so let's just get in touch with the store. Yeah, I'm going to have them pick this up. Lightning fast with their service. There's our piggies. Happy as pigs. Good. I do just want to check selling times for parsnips. I imagine the preserved parsnips will be the same. Okay, so we're way off. We're looking at this December. And I don't think we have anything else to sell at the moment. So, oh, see, we've still got 28,000 there of potatoes. But of course, we'll be trying to keep them back now. Good, fantastic. So, let's look at a contract for us. Yeah, see, to borrow all the items. I wonder how far through the worker is. Nowhere near. So, in that case, we can't leave the month. Well, what we'll do is then we'll take on this hoeing contract. We're going to pick up our hoe. We don't need to borrow the items. We'll do that and then see where we are for the episode. But certainly after that, we'll be moving into May. Just make sure the animals are all fed. Got to locate the other hoe. I wonder if it's over here. If it is, that'd be very handy. Not in there. Not here. Okay, so it must be over at the other farm. What I'll do is then I'll get over there and I'll meet you to pick it up. Well, silly me. I was under the belief we had two hoes. I don't know why I thought that. I really thought we had two hoes. But okay, it's not a problem. So when we come to get a sprayer for the herbicide, I'll keep one hoe back just for contracts. But it does mean we now have two hoeing contracts on. That was daft, wasn't it? But and we didn't borrow the equipment. So what we'll do is then we'll take on a different contract. We'll leave the hoeing for the worker. Let's see what we can find. So barrel wrapping. We're not going to get much out of this because we're going to have to rent the barrel wrapper. So probably not really worth doing. Well, not really, no. Deadwood, we're not doing that because you know what happens. Fertilizing. Again, yeah, it's just we're not going to make much from that. Sowing, we could, but we've just done some sowing. I think we're going to go weeding. That's quite a big contract, a nice bit of money for us. We're going to borrow the items and we get to use some big kit. I've just got to make sure I can get it to the field. So let's tab over to that. I don't think we're going to leave in April this episode, but that's okay. There's no rush. Hey, look at this. Wow. Okay, I've got to try and negotiate this out of the yard. Without hitting the staff's cars. Interesting. Right, we'll give that arm a little nudge. And see if we can get on it. That is one big weeder. Hopefully they're not looking out the window in the store and see me doing that. They could have put it nicer, couldn't they? You know, in a orientated in a different way. There we are, we're on it. So I know where the field is. I'm just wondering how we get through to it. I really hope we don't have any traffic here. I can already see a car coming up. I might have to turn traffic off to get this through. Yeah, it's just never going to happen. Bear with me. Okay, here we are. What I could have done was use the cone to stop traffic, couldn't I? I think next time that is what I'll do. At least be a little bit more realistic that way. This is feeling far too big for this map. But it's awesome, look at it. Yeah, I really wasn't going to go doing much contracting this episode, but all the best laid plans. But that's nearly £11,000 that we could really do with. I just hope I'm going to be going in the right way with this. What I'll do is, as we approach our farm, I'll stop out on the main road and just check things, see if there's a good way through. Or a better way through. Yeah, this will be a good contract as well because the worker's got a ton of work to do there. Or the other option is we go and do it, but they're already on the hoe. They may as well get a day's work out of it, hadn't they? Nice wide berth there. And just bear with me, I'm going to check the map again. Okay, so yeah, I know. So there's the dairy, there's our farm. So if we come around here, which I think is going to be quite tight, and then we get in that way. Crikey. This will be fun. Well, I'll see you when we're a little bit closer, because it's going to take a while to get there. Well, it's doing a respectable 34 miles an hour. But yeah, I'll see you closer towards there. Okay, we are a wee bit closer now. I love this setup. Although it's humongous and possibly, arguably, far too big for where we are. It's pretty awesome. And we don't get to use a versatile very often. I do like the versatiles. They look a little bit toy-like, but clearly not. Right, again, wide berth here. But not so much so that I end up in the hedges. We do have collisions. Once we get to the field, we'll unblock the traffic, open the roads. Now, this is where I'm thinking it's going to start getting real tight. Oh, steady as you go. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be quite a long process, this weeding, given the size of the equipment they've given us. But, oh, there's a tree. Almost hit that branch, nearly took the mirror off. Come on. Never wonder what the mad farmer's doing. Let's watch these low trees here. This must be ahead of us. Wow, and what a field. Crikey. So get lines on immediately. I think we'd best go 2 headlands with the swing on this. Okay, let's get this unfolded. In fact, I'll go and start in a corner. Well, that's good. That's healthy to see. 3 contracts on the go. Not wasting the months, not just skipping through. And I haven't done this one off camera. looks like a satellite. Yeah, I'll go to watch the camera work with the shaking there. Okay, let's just see if that percentage bar starts going up. It's 12 miles now then. There we go, 1%. Fantastic. I was going to say it'd be nice to have these this in our fields, but a lot of them, at least with the fences, you just get stuck when you're better off with the smaller equipment. Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, well, I shall get some music on, because as you can see, we're going to be here for some time. But it's all going to be worth it. Okay, well, that's us finished, and it's actually gone very well. I was very impressed with the equipment. Took a little bit of getting used to the I think it's articulation, or the booty shaking. It seems to like doing. Yeah, let's just get switched off. It's not letting me do anything with that now. Yeah, it does like to wiggle. But yeah, a little bit getting used to, but I really do like it. I'm still going to get that beacon off. Don't want them to have a flat battery when they come to pick it up. Yeah, there's been some problems in the background as far as the contracts the workers on. You can see the one at 30% is the one they started on, field 32 I believe it is. I had to move them on from that. They just gave up. They didn't want to do anymore, and as you can see, there's quite a bit left to do. You know, when you're watching in the top right screen, you're like, okay, that hasn't moved for a while, that percentage bar. So I went and took a look, and they just didn't want to know. So I thought what I'll do is then I'll move them on to the other hoeing contract and see how they do. If they do that properly, we can then move them back to the other field. It might reset them with a bit of luck. If not, we'll be doing that ourselves. It's throwing me a real curveball this episode because, well, nothing's going right apart from this, using this wonderful versatile. But yeah, that's 12,000 in the bank. Let's go and collect that. Oh, sorry, it wasn't 12. It was 10, nearly 11, but still nonetheless. Oh, because we borrowed the equipment. Good. What we could do now is go and buy another hoe or rent a hoe and help them out. But I don't really want to do that because we'll be losing money. So we'll have to take on something else. In fact, what we'll do is to get through to May, we need to top the cows up with food. So we'll go and do that. I just hope they're going to get this field right. It could be because it's a modded hoe. It could be the problem. The tractor's a mod. Everything's a mod apart from the front weight, I believe. So it could be anything there to do with that, or it could be anything else. Yeah, but we've used the hoe on other maps and we didn't have any problems. So I'm sure we have. Well, I definitely have. Look at the state of this. But yeah, we'll go and get the cows fed. We are getting a bit on for time here, so we've earned some money and we're working the problem with the workers. Okay, let's get some cow feed, and then this ensures in next episode we can if we give them 2 feeds, we can just push through them. We know the goats are very happy with all the grass they've got, and they'll still have meadow this time of year. Good amount of meadow. And next time I'm at the store with the flatbed, we're going to be getting some more cones for these gates. I was having a thought, because we're probably going to have to get a conveyor system again to get the silage out the clamp and into the gas plant. Would it be worth, I was just wondering, could we, let's get out of that view. I don't know, even if we had to, because this gate is always a pain, and I need to, if we want to get more cows, I need to get loads more TMR into here. I was just wondering if we could, even if we put the silage on the floor, just tip to load out here, and then run the conveyor to here. We might even only have to just use the small one that picks it up off the floor. It would probably do it. I think that's definitely worth a try, and it can just dump it straight in then. But I was just thinking, as we will have a conveyor system on hire, or we will purchase one to get the silage out the clamp anyway, it might be worth having a bit of a toy around with that. Yeah, we'll just do 2 of these, and that way we're all good to go when the time comes for May. Right, let's just make sure that's tip side, well, it's tip side right on left. There we are. I might be a little bit too close there. And very soon they will have straw, which will give us manure for the gas plant. I was saying before that manure doesn't seem to be worth as much as straw, but then when editing that, I did have a rethink, and of course, if you're putting it in the gas plant, then that might be a different story. If the worker won't hoe field 30, then I might do that off camera. And I have sort of messed up a little bit because I haven't realised, obviously our hoes are quite small. I might have overloaded them with work there. I might have given them a bit of a breakdown. Just want to see how this does them. Check the pigs as well. I think they're okay. That cow is wondering where its straw is. Seems happy enough though. Okay, just drop the trailer there. Get out of here. I'm going to put this here ready for the wash. Check on the animals. Yes, they're absolutely fine. Although I have used a little bit. The goat milk doesn't need moving yet. That's top down. That'll get them through to May, possibly June. The chickens, yeah, so we haven't got them yet, so it doesn't matter. The cows, the pigs will need a feed soon, but we'll get through. Yeah, so, okay, well, we'll leave this one here. Bit of an odd one. Surprise to me as well. Yeah, so we've got the worker on that, and then as soon as they've finished that, I'll try them over on this one. If they're not doing it, I'll probably just get it done off camera, and then next episode we can collect our winnings, and we'll move into May and see what's happening there. Yeah, I'll probably be getting that silage out the clamp, I would think. So good. Well, as usual, from Drumard Farm and from me, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.